Y'all can say what you want, man, but oh boy, it's my experiences, man, is just off the chain. I'm telling you, it's just off the chain. The experiences that I have is off the chain. You know, 1 minute everything is good, the next minute things just go upside down, and I'm not understanding why. You know, my live stream just automatically just started acting crazy. You know, did a nice live stream. Yeah, like, I don't understand. It's just crazy. It just goes back and forth. So, I don't know. I just don't understand what has taken place. Oh, boy. When you talk about demonic things happen. You feel me? When you begin to talk about spiritual things, it never fails, man. Never fails. There's always interruptions, man. There's always interruptions. And what you know, for me, I don't know about you, but when I get to talking about demons and things like that, yeah, it's always interruptions that follow. So I'm not gonna rule out there was some issues dealing with the internet or whatever. I'm just gonna associate it being as demon activity. You feel me? That's how I'm gonna associate it. Just demon activities, period, point blank. Now all of a sudden my live streams is acting weird. Come on, man. There's weird stuff going on. I'm not understanding what's going on, but that's what I associated it with. But picking back up where I left off.
Speaking countries. She gets her name from appearing in the field around midday, where people are working. It's because of her that workers who operate in the fields take a break around the midday times. If Lady Midday appears, usually as a young-looking lady or an old hag, but always in white, she will ask the workers questions. The workers like to have a clear head, because if the workers get the questions wrong, well, then she'll simply just cut off your head because she can. The next demon is known as the Red Death. His name is Marahem. When the war between heaven and the now fallen angels was taking place, he upset the Grim Reaper, who ended his existence on heaven. He was then cursed and went mad. He ended up becoming one of the princes of hell, and has a heavy involvement of being a demon of violence. Even suicides in some cases, but mostly violence. Belial is massive in the demon world, so big that he is said to be next to Lucifer at one stage, also having control over 80 legions. He is the demon of lies, described as the real lord of all evils. He can be so evil that there were reports of him being Lucifer's father, and it was him who tempted Lucifer to start the rebellion.
So I just played at least 10 different demonic influences when it comes to demonic presence, entities, so forth. Now, it's hard to believe. Some people might be like, man, this is an old folklore type of stuff you're talking about. You know, this stuff you talking about, Ace, man, this ain't nothing, man. I don't even believe in God, or I don't even believe in the devil. That stuff ain't even real. You might say that. I'm not so crazy to believe that everybody believes in God and believes in the devil. You know, I mean, some people just don't. They just cannot believe in things they don't see. That's possible. You understand what I'm saying? That's possible. So I'm not trying to convince anybody to believe in, you know, God and the devil and all of that stuff. But from my own experiences and things I've have happened in my life that I can't explain, I know for a fact that there's some things that I can say is some questionable situations. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when these different attacks happen, right? Because you got to understand, you're fighting a spiritual battle with things you can't see. You're dealing with spiritual things that you cannot see, which makes it hard to believe. You're dealing with presence that are there that you don't know is there. You're dealing with entities that can enter in and out whenever they feel like. They can enter into our world and go back into the spiritual world when they feel like at any given moment. But the thing that's great about us is that, yes, we have the ability to build up a resistance against demonic influences and demonic forces. We have the ability to do that. We have the ability to build up such a resistance that you can feel when something is entered or something is trying to enter or messing with your mind, and that all has to deal with your relationship that you have with God and the Holy Spirit and Jesus and all that. That has to deal with how in depth your relationship is that you've built with God. That's what it has to deal with, and how in tune you are in the spirit. Now, you can even go back to old folklore or old folk tales. You can go back to, Kemet days, Egypt days. You can trace it all the way back to that. Things that they dealt with primarily with spiritual things. You can take it to the Indians. They believe in the spiritual world and the spiritual realm and spiritual things. Reincarnations. You understand what I'm saying? Reincarnation. They believe in these things. The spirit realm and the spirit world is not out of the loop. So when I talk about this and bring up these certain spiritual things, it's only to give you an awareness. Because when I look at this YouTube and I got on the Nature Boy thing and was dealing with that for like a little second, I was noticing like some of the things he justified, the reason why he did what he did, and was cool with it. Like the pedophilia, the children thing, the son playing with his wood and all this different stuff. And he was actually justifying that as a means to, like, that was cool with him. You understand what I'm saying? There's videos out there where he was speaking about these demonic foul things as it being cool. But you got to understand, when you're under the influence of a demonic force or entity, you will say these things and it will have you justifying the means to do these foul demonic things. You understand what I'm saying? So, you're probably asking, Ace, man, what's all of this about, man? What you talking about this for tonight? Why? Well, on a Saturday night, man, I got to go out and grab a drink, or I got to go out and do my thing, or, whatever. You might be asking me that. So, my thing to you is I'm not trying to spoil your Saturday night. Do what you do. Live your life. And there's songs out, live your best life. Live your life. Do what you do. I'm not here to put a damper on your party. But I feel that there's been some things that people been dealing with and just do not have some answers for. You understand what I'm saying? I feel in my spirit, in my heart, that people have been dealing with some strange issues that they can't put their finger on, but know this is not normal to be feeling or going through it on a mental level and on a physical level. You understand what I'm saying? So I just felt like if I shared some of the demonic forces and influences that, could be plaguing your life, it could help you have an understanding of what it could be. I'm not saying this is concrete. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's situation is catered different. Things are different. When you deal with these particular situations, you have to base it on an individual situation. You just can't say, this is abroad. Everybody's dealing with, because some things is more mental than it is demonic. And which demons do deal with your mind and corrupt your mind. But what I'm trying to say is, not every situation is the same, and I'm not going to be so quick to say it's a demonic issue. I remember I was at church one time, and it was an old mother, man. Everything, you got a demon, you got a demon. Like, everybody had a demon, and everything was a demon. Like, it was so funny, man. Like, everything you did, you had a demon. And I'm not going to be so quick to jump on a situation like this, and that everything you deal with, you're a demon, he's a demon, you got demons and all this other man. I mean, that's just something, it feels like that's just something for somebody to say. You understand what I mean? So it could be the possibility that there's an influence that you might be dealing with that could be demonic, and it could be plaguing your life. And I know this is not the typical thing to be talking about, but when you start to see ratchetness in our hoods, when you start to see people overriding their conscience, come on, let's get real tonight, man. Let's get real. Let's get real. The 4 or 5 people who watching, I'm glad for you to be in the building. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. But let's get real. The things that make you override your conscience in your mind, to make you do the things you do, that's not normal. You understand what I'm saying? You got to go through a whole process of telling yourself and convincing yourself to do a certain act or action. You understand what I'm saying? You got to override everything you believe in to carry out that act or to carry out this specific thought. So do you think that's just normal behavior? Do you think that's something normal that you've done? I believe that it has to be something greater to make you override what you feel and believe is right and what you feel and believe is the wrong thing to do. Something has to be greater in you to override that thought, that conscious act that you say you don't want to do or will do. You understand what I mean? It has to be something greater. So that's why I pose these particular issues and craft it the way I have, because we have people doing all kind of things for attention, all kind of things to be seen, all kind of things that degrades their family, that degrades their marriages, that degrades them as a human being, and then justify it as, this is me, I do what I want to do, this is my mind, my heart, my body, and I'll carry on the way I want to. Certain people believe that, which is crazy. For me to look at something and just say, why would you do that? Or the way you've done it. It's crazy to me. But people do that. So you have to get into the mind to say, why would you do that? What makes you mistreat your offspring, your baby, your children? What makes you go out and do ratchet things just for the camera? What makes people put their lives and do things and put themselves on display for the world to see? That's not normal behavior. And you can't chalk it up as them being crazy or have some psychic type, or something wrong with their psyche. You gotta understand that it has to some degree have some demonic influences attached to it. To some degree. Not all cases, but some. You feel me? Satan has did a very great job, good job at deceiving our people when it comes to our black people. He has done a great job. I was listening to my man yesterday, and I'm gonna give credit to my barber for sharing this with me, which was so deep. When he told me, I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe. I never seen it like that. But he said, break down the word human, right? The word human. So I was like, oh, well, it's just the word, it means you're a human being. You're a man or a woman. You're human. So he said this. He said the word human. Hue. So when you say hue, what is hue? Hue talks about black people, right? If you have a hue, it's your pigment. A hue is your color, right? So when you talk about the word human being, it's actually talking about black people. Because in order to be a human, you have to have hue in you. Just think about that. Just think about that. He shared some of that with me. And he said he got a professor broke it down to him. Which makes sense. So, not everybody walking could be a human being. Just think about this. Keep an open mind to what Brother Ace is saying. Ace Boogie now, but just keep an open mind. Not everybody walking could possibly be a human being. Think about that. Human. If you got hue in you, you're human. Just something to feast on. Just a small thing that I kind of resonated with me a little bit. My barber gave me that, man. We was having some barber talk yesterday, which was pretty, real. So in concluding this, so I can go eat some dinner and get myself together, prepare myself for the work day. I hope everybody is in good spirits. I hope your lives are going, fairly decent. I hope, you are able to decipher some of the issues that you might be plagued with in your life. This life is not easy. It's not. This life is so far out of touch. You have your good days. You have your bad days. You have days where, things just don't make sense. Then you have days where things are just going fine. I know that our lives get complicated, from day to day. There's complications that come out of our day, out of our weeks and months. Just know how to revert back to what you know to be right and deal with it from that particular aspect. I'm not sitting here on the judgment seat, not judging anybody. I'm the least person that can judge anybody. All of the flaws I have, all of the character flaws, all of the things I've done, all of the things I have done and indulged in, the things my mind, as crazy as I am, the things that have taken me places and I've did things, like I'm the least person in the world that can judge anybody. So I'm not speaking from a place of judgment. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just sharing things that can actually open your eyes to what could or could not be. That's all. I'm not judging. I'm not saying this is your situation. And I'm not saying that you specifically are dealing with the things I shared. Might not be your case. You might not have these experiences and you might not believe, which is fine. I understand that's the world we live in. There's things I don't believe in. And unless it slapped me upside the face, I probably won't believe in it. That's just what it is. And that goes, and that's how some people live their life. Unless you actually have had a tangible experience, you will never believe. Fine. I understand. That's the world we live in, and that's how the world works. Right? But I did want to share this. And hopefully, by me coming on live and just doing different things and sharing different experiences and different things, hopefully y'all will find some comfort in some of the things I say, share, and do. That's my goal, right? I'm not here making money. I don't have things monetized. From my knowledge, my things are not monetized. I don't make money off of anything that I say, do, and I don't have any agenda other than to share with like-minded people that might be going through some of the things that I've been through and am currently going through. That's why I like to be, personable, and that's why I like to share and have feedback, because I don't know what you're faced with in your life. You understand? I don't know. I don't know what you could be dealing with. I don't know. But it does make an impact, and it does help when I do intertwine with people with like minds and people that have shared some of these experiences, because it brings me and keeps me in touch with reality. You understand? It keeps me in touch with reality of how life is. People out here don't care anymore. They have lost the sense of caring. That's gone. That's out the window. People don't care about how you make it from day to day. People don't have no concern about nothing else but me, self, and I. You understand? But if there is in any way that I can touch somebody and just let them know, you know, I care. I might not care to the degree that you want me to, but just know this is a platform that cares about the lives of individuals and cares about the well-being of the watchers and the viewers out there. You understand? So hopefully, you know, you will find comfort in what I've said. Hopefully some of this will give you some eye-opening experiences so you can identify with your own life. This is a channel that I expect people to criticize and also expect people to learn as I'm learning. So without further ado, without pushing the agenda any longer, this is your boy Ace from Ace Corner Talk. Love you guys. Appreciate your participation and you being a part of this broadcast. This is your boy Ace. You could have been anywhere doing anything at any given time, but you chose to be here at this specific time, and I appreciate you a lot. This is your boy Ace Boogie. I'm out.